John's brother, I'm not a twin. I've been told that several times. And then you see we can gain the lead and get older. Back when we were young lads, John had more than 50 years in the community when we were young lads. My grandfather had a feed mill on North Railroad Street. And when the whistle blew, nobody knew what was going on, where the call was or anything. So my grandfather would tell us, run up there and see where the fire is. So we'd go up Mill Street and stand there, and that's back when there used to be 43 businesses within the village. And everybody would come out to the street to see what the call was. John and I would stand there, and they come fire station on the right street, and they push trucks out of the street to get them started. We stood there and looked, and he says, I wonder why they call them running boards. And I said, well, we're going to find out in a few minutes. There the firemen go running down the street and jump outside of the fire truck and run them. So we figured that, yeah, that's probably why they named them that. As we got older, John wanted to help the community. And so he comes to me and he said, I took a paper route. He says, yeah. So he says, can you help me? Okay. So he goes to deliver a few papers and he says, there's this house on Church Street. You got to deliver the paper. It's got an enclosed porch and you got to put the paper in the porch. So I said, okay. So he went one way and I went down Church Street, came out to the house, and when I approached the door, there was a doorman picture sitting there. And I backed up a little bit, opened up the door, threw the paper and shut it. When I called up with John, he says, did you put the paper in the porch? I said, yeah, I did. I said, the dog read it within 3 seconds. I don't know how long it was going to take to read it. Oh, he goes, well, we're going to have to go back and put another paper in there. So we went down the next street, down 69 down there, and we went down to Fuller's. He says, okay, one of us has got to ride down the road, the other one's got to go deliver the paper. And I says, okay, what's the problem here, John? Well, they got a dog. They had a German Shepherd. So John says, I'll deliver the paper, you ride down the road. So I ride down the road, and pretty soon I see that German Shepherd coming in, wide open. I was almost out of town before that dog stopped. Turn around, come back, and John says, what took you so long? That dog chased me. Took me so long. He was always out there to help the community and help poor elderly people get stuff along and everything. So he actually had more than 50 years. Well, as the years go on, he was in the Explorer Post and he talked to the fire department to sponsor the Explorer Post. And I was drafted. I ended up in Germany. John was taking care of it from home on leave. John says, well, I'm the vice of the Explorer Post. You want to come with us? There was a call that night. And I said, okay. So he had a truck. We get in the truck. I thought we were going to the station, but he's driving around the village picking up the Explorer. I said, what's going on? I said, all these kids are jumping in the back of the truck. I got to take them to the fire call. So we get to the fire call. I didn't understand what was going on. Well, they rolled the hose. And they did the traffic control for the fire department. So when he got out of the Explorer Post, they had to be 21 to get in, and he automatically went into the fire department back in '73. So one night turns out to me, he says, I got home out of the service, and he turns to me, okay, when you go to join? Okay. So he took me down to the fire station, showed me what went on, talked to him. I did my interview, and I got into the fire department. Well, John was always wanted to learn more than the next person, and he was taking classes. Well, he wasn't married, didn't have any kids, you know, and he said, come on. He said, take this class. Okay, so I took a couple classes, took a couple more classes, and then he said, well, you're going to go to this class. John, I said, I've got a business, I got a wife, you're single, you got a lot of free time. That's the commitment that you have to put into the fire service to stay there, you know. And eventually got it into me, you know, we go to class, we talk to class. So he was into it, and I think he took all the classes at Montour Falls that they could give him. He had his own room. He walked in the door, oh, hi, John, yeah, you know what floor. And then you go from there, take care of the room, and we go down to the library. They knew him down the library. Well, if I go back to the beginning, they nicknamed him when he first got in, Proby. Is that right, Al?
Yeah. Edgar Hastings.
And no matter where John went, that's what his name, Proby. He carried that name for 30 years. I've had people come up to me and ask me, is Proby still there? Yeah, Proby's still there. So he's carried the name Proby on. We got into water, and when we were first in, the chiefs used to have to take care of the maintenance of the apparatus. Well, Marv was underneath the engine, and he said, what are you two doing? Nothing. Come here. We had these coat hangers, and he had the bottom of the pump pull apart. They had the coat hanger in there, pulling the seals out of the bottom of the pump. So he handed us the coat hangers. He wants you two guys to pull the package out of this pump. So we're in there pulling the package out. We looked at each other and go, this is interesting, you know. So then we went, and of course back then we went to the hardware to get packages. And Mark put the package in. And when you go to pump it, Mark, tonight. He said, oh, you boys down there. Okay. Well, we went down there, and Mark primed the truck, and the package blew right out of it. And this one fire chief told Mark, he says, there's this company, these two guys come along and do maintenance on pumps. So they came, and we were curious to watch. And they had a station wagon, and they had pipe wrenches and everything in the station wagon. They hooked the pipe up, the hose up, blew it into the discharge hose, and blew the package out. John looks at me, he says, well, why didn't you think of that? And today, that was the start of High Rock. Their fathers, Jim and John's father, were the ones that came out and repaired the fire pump. And we had service with them ever since that time. I want to thank you boys for learning that we learned about fire apparatus. And we went on and on like that, curious, and we were probably, 15, 20 years in the service when Jack come up with a water supply class. And before Newton Dome was manufactured, Jack already had them built. And Jack told us, come on down, we're going to have a water supply practice. Okay, we go down there. Here we see these guys with these homemade Newton Domes. We can build one of those. What do you mean, we? I said, so that was the competition. And we had every weekend, once a month at least, we were hauling water and dumping it. Jack had it and dumping. And made our own dumps for the tanking. Before that, they used to put a 3-inch pipe and a valve on it to dump the water. So we got educated through the water supply with Jack. I want to thank Jack for helping us learn and advance us in water supply and water supply. And John always was interested and he never stopped. He always said that John was the one that come up with an idea, but he always pointed to me and he said, "You can do that." So we worked together ever since we first started. Now I have 50 years next year. So altogether there'll be 100 years of service. My son's got 20 years in the service. I'd like to have Alan Steer and Kenny Henson stand up. I'd like to thank you guys for the knowledge and how to get the Perry Fire Company started. These boys worked during the day and they came and built that fire station down there after work. They carried blocks and put them up on the scaffold. And did a lot of work to build the fire station, to have it built for today. Peace.